Hi, this is Mick Elliott from Electronics Specifier, and I'm here on the Digi-Key stand with Tim Carroll, Vice President of Marketing for Digi-Key. Tim, great that you could join us. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, Mick. We're good to see you again.
Good to see you. First of all, just give us a little update on, we're nearly through Q1 2023, how you see that from the Digi-Key point of view, and maybe a look at the distribution market generally.
Absolutely. So we sat at the end of 22 thinking we'd get a breather in the first part of 2023. Hasn't happened yet. We're finding 2023 as robust as we ended the year last year. And I think, there's headwinds and tailwinds, right? We know there's maybe some clouds on the horizon economically, right? Especially with consumer confidence and investment confidence. At the same time, we exited last year with a lot of pent-up demand for parts that weren't available. So we're seeing, as we see improvement in supply chain, and we're seeing better in-stock rates for Digi-Key, we're seeing that kind of headwinds and tailwinds balance out to a pretty stable business for us in the first half of 2023 so far.
And I guess the product availability seems to be working back to normal, and maybe passives and EMEC, maybe semiconductors still a few obstacles along the way. Yeah,
we're seeing semiconductors really needing the full year to get back to where we would like to see them be from a health of stock. But other groups are coming up pretty quickly. We've gone from maybe 60 to 70% in-stock rates to 80, 90, 90 plus in most of our categories, except for the harder to find advanced semiconductor right now.
Okay, and just looking at how Digi-Key's working in the market and the progress, is there a particular geographic region that's going particularly well, or looking across all three, how are they working?
Europe is our fastest growing region. We hit $1 billion of sales in 2022 in EMEA, which is fantastic across all segments of the region. Part of it is we had a bigger investment in having regionally relevant parts and SKUs in stock in the market, so SKU expansion. Part of it has been localization. We've made great strides in ease of doing business around VAT and tariff, VAT collection, in terms of having more payment types. So we now have Google Pay and Apple Pay available, which is very popular in EMEA. I think we're one of the first distributors to have that available in our website. So I think all the parts, the right parts, the ease of doing business, we're easier in some cases than local distributors to work with in EMEA, especially for folks that are UPS and Worldies partners. So we're excited, and APAC growing as strong as it's ever grown for us.
I guess one of the great things from your point of view, from Digi-Key, you're in Thief River Falls. Everything comes out of Thief River Falls globally, which may, maybe take a day or two to get to Europe. But I guess one of the things customers are happy about when they order a bit of material is they know from Digi-Key everything is going to be there.
Everything's going to be there. It's authentic. We stand behind the product. I joined Digi-Key 3 years ago. I knew I was joining something special. We don't realize it until you go to Thief River Falls. I don't know if you've been there, Mick, right? It's a culture where for the whole 50 years Digi-Key's been in existence, people do whatever it takes to meet customers' expectations, to a fault almost sometimes. But we even this week have extremely high demand. We have employees from marketing and IT and sales working in the warehouse, picking and packing boxes to make sure we get 100% of our shipments out same days. We know customers are counting that for the next day.
Real team effort.
It's always a team effort.
Okay. Looking at the markets generally, I mean, one of the areas that seems to be growing is industrial automation, even some, the maintenance repair. Can you just outline for us how Digi-Key is operating in those markets?
Absolutely. So we've started organizing more of our teams by business unit. So we have sales, marketing, and supplier resources just focused on industrial automation and control, which helps make sure we're focused on the right SKUs. Digi-Key historically has sold to electrical engineers. The way customers buy semiconductors and passives is very different than the way industrial automation gets purchased. So we're having to retool our customer journey online, retool our marketing. In some ways, that automation control industry is about 5 to 10 years behind our legacy, but in terms of adoption of technology. So more printed catalogs, more trade shows, more in person. So we're expanding our business to adapt to that new customer journey and the new way people are purchasing those products.
And I guess one of the other issues is signing new lines to augment that business.
Absolutely. We signed 550 new lines last year. So I think we're at 2,400 or so lines right now with Digi-Key. We are now at 14.9 million parts on the website. So you think about all that goes into making sure we've got data sheets and the specs, and customers come to expect Digi-Key to have the pristine data and all of that. And we've made huge investments in onboarding new suppliers and doing it digitally, not doing it by going through catalogs and price books, but by ingesting data directly from the suppliers, letting them drive a lot of that parametric search data to us, so we have the products on the website as quickly as possible.
And just on the logistics, I know the new warehouse is now open, up and running, full bore?
We have about 60% of our parts in a given day go out of our new warehouse. And really the gating factor is just migration. We have $2 billion of inventory on one side of the street that needs to go to the other side of the street. And you really can't move it overnight. So as we're migrating more parts across, we have more of that total percent of volume going out of the new warehouse. But it's 2.2 million square feet, I think 204,000 square meters. So it's going to take a little while to fill up the boat. Originally we'd hoped that new inventory would come in to the new building, and we would just draw down the inventory in the old building. The market's been so hot, we've not been able to get enough inventory to pre-stock. So we're having to do it kind of on the fly.
Better to keep the customer happy.
Keep the customers happy, absolutely.
Okay, looking at one of the areas that Digi-Key was putting some effort into was IoT. Can you just outline where you are with that now and the support you're giving customers and the sort of products you can supply to customers?
Yep, so IoT is why we're here today, right? And it's a different customer type for us. We're used to either engineers or procurement professionals coming to the site looking for parts. In a lot of cases, we've had customers designing off the board to start and prototyping. So part of it is supporting customers with the right product selection, with the right set of technology solutions. So we now offer data plans. We offer printed circuit boards. We offer cable and special wiring. So again, dedicated team, product specialists in IoT, making sure we have all that is needed for folks that aren't natively on the board engineers.
So I could contact that dedicated IoT team, either being completely new to IoT or maybe an experienced IoT person who just needs a bit of guidance.
Yeah, so we have a lot of different ways customers talk to us about emerging technology. We're doing webinars. We do webinars like twice a week on IoT. We're partnering with different suppliers. We have a blog. We have a tech forum where customers go in, ask questions, and the community answers them, or our team supplements those answers on top of it. And we have one-to-one support to our technical support team. So there are 4 or 5 different channels that developers can go through to find the right touch for them of how in-person or how kind of group shared data they'd like to get.
Right. Now then, I know one of the things Digi-Key is very keen on is identifying, if you like, the engineers of tomorrow, the students of tomorrow, and you've got a number of schemes out there in the educational space. Can you just talk us through some of those and the uptake and what you see the benefit of Digi-Key in the longer term?
Yeah, so we look at that as we want to be partners with engineers for the life of their careers. So we start with first robotics and really early on with STEM. We have a meaningful ambassador program at universities. So our university program, I was just at UCSD in San Diego last week, and we just had a hackathon out there with 70 students, 24 hours, and they're lifelong Digi-Key fans now. They haven't even started their professional careers, and they're in the shadow of Grumman and Qualcomm. So our hope is that they have wonderful experiences with Digi-Key during their education days that carries through. So they've got the habit they've built of going to Digi-Key to search for parts, to find the parts, and the confidence that when they're prototyping, Digi-Key is the place they start their projects.
But I think you have a prototype and a dashboard roadmap as well that students can tap into?
I'm not the expert on that part, so I'll bring David Sandys in later. He can talk to you about it.
Okay. Let's turn to e-commerce. I know that's a particular area of your expertise. What's Digi-Key been doing, investing in e-commerce, make it easier for customers to buy from you?
Yeah, so for us it all starts and ends with part search, right? We've got the most robust catalog in the business in terms of number of parts and parameters that allow customers to come in and research. So we've invested in a new search platform based on Elasticsearch that allows customers to come in and essentially find the parts they need as quickly as possible. On top of that, we're looking to personalize a lot of our marketing. So with all these different audiences coming to the site, we're able to identify a preference for an audience. So whether they're an IoT engineer, whether they're in robotics, whether they're in industrial automation, and we can have them only see product on our website that is most relevant to them. So when you come to Digi-Key today, it should be a much more personalized experience than what you might have seen historically. And that helps our customers, it helps our partners. We've got partners here like Taoglass who want to reach people who are out there for antenna solutions. We can find them folks who are in the middle of a buying process and help get them connected to the right audience at the right time.
If I come on as a customer, how elastic can my search be? What if I'm, if I know I just want a microcontroller, can I just tap that in and you can direct me fairly quickly to the solution I require?
Yeah, customers come through our website a lot of different ways. They'll come in with a part number that they know. Mm-hmm. They'll come in with a category like microcontrollers that they just key in by hand, or you can filter through our navigation on our website to go through subcategory by subcategory. And there's not one way. I think there's 12 different ways we've found customers will come to Digi-Key and search for a part. So we need to be excellent at all 12 different ways.
And how do you ease their path? And indeed, it helps your business as well to move from searching for a part, identifying what they want, and then ordering it. Because it would be easy for them just to check out and think, well, I'll have a look around and maybe order it from somewhere else. So how do you retain those customers?
Honestly, we're happy that customers come in and start their search on Digi-Key, even if they left and go purchase someplace else. We try to make it as easy as possible for them when they're on Digi-Key to check out with that cart. So we've got a product called My Lists that essentially just lets you build your BOM along the way. And you can then share that list with anybody else in your company. So if your job is to build the bill of materials, but you got a purchasing partner who then goes and purchases, we get that to them with a Digi-Key handoff. So you're not writing it on a piece of paper, you're emailing to your procurement person, hey, here's the BOM, and it's super easy, just click the button, and that'll check out with that cart at Digi-Key. So the more we can do to make it seamless, like why wouldn't you? If we've got inventory, we've got the right pricing, we've got the right lead time, we're hoping to make it as simple as possible to flow that into a successful cart checkout.
So essentially, I choose the microcontroller, you can then direct me to the peripheral parts, the passives, the EMEC, everything I might need for that board.
Absolutely, so we've got suggested parts that just, if we notice you haven't put something in your cart, we can let you know, hey, people who buy this part normally add this in at the same time. And especially over the last 2 years, we've helped a lot with cross-references for customers who come in looking for a part that's out of stock everywhere. We've built a 45 million part database of cross-references that you can tap into real time and research and choose to purchase a alternative part with similar mechanical properties.
Turning to your other expertise, Tim, marketing. How do you handle marketing within Digi-Key, working first of all with suppliers? I mean, you've got so many suppliers. How do you work out marketing plans for those and I guess keep everybody happy?
Yeah, I think our most successful marketing campaigns are when our suppliers have a specific goal, a specific problem they're trying to solve or market they're trying to enter. So if they can come to us with, we want to double the number of customers buying our NPI, that helps us a lot. We can then identify audiences that have bought that type of product in the past and then help them influence those customers at Digi-Key at the time when that Digi-Key customer is making a purchase. I mean, Digi-Key has 850,000 customers that start their search with Digi-Key. So our hope is that when they get there and they're impressed, we are able to put suppliers in front of the right customers at the right time, right place, as they say.
And I guess it's kind of what I call softer marketing, where on your website, for instance, there's a new product area where you can find new products from many of your suppliers.
Yeah, there's customers that come to us for information, just content. We're a commerce site, but we have a lot of how-to content, a lot of surfacing of NPI, of new product. We do a phenomenal amount of email marketing, and our customers love email. We've got almost a 0% opt-out rate of existing customers. Well, once they've opted in, they stick with the emails that we send. So very, very powerful market for us.